We went to Colville Place, an unusual residential road full of plants and flowers tended by the green-fingered residents. And back on Charlotte Street, we saw Fitzroy Tavern, named after the creator of Fitzroy Square, Charles Fitzroy. The tavern, which was its bohemian peak from the 1920s until the 1940s, became a meeting place for various artists, writers, and voracious drinkers of the era. The satirist Aleister Crowley drank here and even invented a cocktail for the pub. However, regulars were in danger of catching Sohoitis, an ailment afflicting aspiring artists who ended up wasting their talents by staying in the tavern all day and night and never getting any work done. In the late 1930s, some of the in-crowd at the tavern migrated to the Wheatsheaf, and a core group including Dylan Thomas, George Orwell, Philip O'Connor, and Edwin Muir became known as Wheatsheaf writers. Cleveland Street runs parallel to Charlotte Street on the west side and has a strange connection with Jack the Ripper and Prince Albert Victor, known as Prince Eddie, eldest son of Edward VII and grandson of Queen Victoria. It has been suggested by some Ripper theorists that the prince worked incognito as an apprentice to the painter Walter Sickert, whose studio was located on Cleveland Street. Eddie was later implicated in a damaging public scandal after the police raided a high society male brothel on the same street in 1889, and the prince was soon set off on a long tour of India by his despairing family. In the 1970s, a man claiming to be Sickert's illegitimate son alleged that Prince Eddie, whilst working for Sickert, had fathered a child with a lowly born Annie Cook, who was a model for Sickert. The conspiracy theory runs that the establishment tried to protect the monarchy from the potential scandal by locking away Annie Cook, who is said had married the prince in an asylum, but not before Cook, and entrusted her child to her friend named Mary Jane Kelly. Kelly, one of the Ripper's victims, and her friends then tried to blackmail the monarchy over the scandal, only to be murdered in quick succession in 1888 by the establishment in order to silence them. It is unlikely the real identity of Jack the Ripper will ever be discovered. However, in 2002, crime novelist Patricia Cromwell announced her theory that Sickert himself was the murderer and tried to match DNA taken from his paintings with extracts taken from the original taunting letters the Ripper sent to the police in 1888. We continued along Percy Street, where Alois Hitler Jr. is thought to have lived at number 4, and where his half-brother Adolf Hitler may have visited him in 1912. This led into Bedford Square, the finest of many elegant squares in Bloomsbury, and often used for filming period dramas. It was built between 1775 and 1783, and takes its name from the Russell family, whose most senior member is the Duke of Bedford. The Russells were the main landowners in Bloomsbury, and the Russell and Bedford names crop up throughout the area. Just over the road is James Smith and Sons, London's oldest and best umbrella and walking stick shop, founded in 1830. It boasts an ornate Victorian shop front which remains almost unaltered, 140 years old. The shop is still family run and is worth a visit, solely to see the unusual animal-headed walking sticks. On the right, we walked along towards the British Museum in the Bloomsbury area of London, United Kingdom. It is a public institution dedicated to human history, art, and culture. Its permanent collection of some 8 million works is among the largest and most comprehensive in existence, having been widely sourced during the era of the British Empire. The event information is now currently out of date because of the pandemic.